The first step is to lower the driver's side window. And then we're gonna access the battery. And then we're gonna loosen the negative cable on the battery using a 10mm socket. And what I like to do is when I remove the cable, I like to place a sock over it as well as moving it to the side. And then I turn on the headlights, I press the horn, and then I actually press on the brake. And what I'm doing is I'm releasing any extra electricity or voltage or anything that's any capacitors to try to drain everything out of the car. And the reason why is because we want to make sure we're safe and that there's no stray voltage or anything like that. So when we take off the steering wheel. Okay, looking underneath the steering wheel, you're gonna see this hole right here, and we're gonna have to put a T25 socket or tool or whatever you have, and we're gonna punch through it, and we're gonna push on the spring to pull out the airbag. Okay, so we got our T25, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna feel a spring in here, and the airbag should slowly pop out. Just like that. Okay, we're about to remove the airbag. Make sure you disconnected that battery and let it drain. So at this point in time, we got the airbag like this. As you can tell, I'm facing the airbag away from me. And we're gonna have to remove these yellow cables. And the way you do it is you need to get these little orange tabs out. Like that, one. I'm using my finger now. Two. Now using a small trim tool, as you can see, I'm using a plastic tool too. I'm gonna gently pry them out. All right, and then the last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna just make sure you hold everything not to hurt anything. We've got the airbag out. And the etiquette for airbags is that you place them up. You never face them down. All right, we're gonna remove this cable. It's a black and maroon one. I'm gonna press down on the tabs and just pull out. Pretty straightforward on that one. And then we have to remove this yellow one, and underneath this cable right here is going to be the actual button for it. We're going to push it and pull out like that. Now we are going to torque down our steering wheel when we put it on, but I'm also going to make this line at the 12 o'clock just because I want to have that. Using this M12 socket, we're going to go ahead and loosen this main center bolt. And the right way to do it is you want to turn it, but you don't want to turn it and loosen it on its stop because it'll break it. You know, there's like a usual stop. So what I'm going to have, because I have help, I'm going to have someone hold this while I turn it. That's kind of like the best way to do it. So my wife held it like this while I loosened it and worked out pretty well. Now we're going to switch to a ratchet because we're going to loosen this bolt. All right, we've got this bolt out, and if you see, it has some Loctite, some blue, and we're gonna definitely wanna reapply a little bit when we put it back. The steering wheel should technically come off, but if you notice, somebody already marked this. So you see this mark right here? That's like the main mark right there. Somebody already marked, I guess, the steering receiving part right here to match that. So, okay, we're going to gently pull out our steering wheel, just like this. And the steering wheel's off. Woohoo! And this is the tricky part, because we're gonna wanna align our steering wheel with the markings. So there's a 12 o'clock marking. All right, we've got the alignment kind of right. Like I said, you have to make sure it's right, otherwise redo it. All right, it's time for us to go ahead and connect our cables. We might have to back this out a tiny bit to make that happen. All right, that one's in. All right, the heater cable's in as well. And now we're gonna go ahead and put some blue Loctite on our bolt, and we're gonna go ahead and tighten it down. When applying Loctite, we're gonna wanna take off some of the old stuff, and then we're gonna wanna apply some new stuff. All right, we have the Loctite applied, and we're gonna slowly ratchet this in, and then once we hit the bottom, we're gonna get our torque wrench, and we're gonna do 37 foot-pounds. All right, the next step is going to be the airbag. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna connect the brown one first, in my opinion, because we gotta get it. You push in, and then you lock in. Same thing with this one. Push in, and then lock in. All right, one of the final steps is gonna be to push the airbag in and take your time to align. And I feel like that clicked in. All right, Elise. And whoop-bam. Oh, snap, that's incredible. Oh man, I am so excited. Look at the new steering wheel, guys. We have a new 99.12 steering wheel, and check out this little knob right here. We can go from Sport to Sport Plus, which is so cool. And not only that, we have traditional paddle shifters now, which is awesome. And it's absolutely beautiful. Love this thing.